Hi everyone, welcome to Career Launcher. My name is Abhilasha and I will be taking you through vocab for IPMAT and JIPMAT 2027. We are covering figurative language in this session, which is otherwise known as figures of speech or poetic devices. So let's get started. Now, why do we use poetic devices? We use them to make our language more beautiful, make our writing more fancy, to be able to express deeper and more nuanced meanings, right? So they use words or expression with a meaning that is different from the literal interpretation. We're using it to create vivid imagery, emphasize ideas, and to evoke emotions. Now, some primary literary devices are like simile. So, simile is a direct comparison between two things which are unlike when you use connecting words such as like or as. For example, her smile it was bright like the morning sun. The minute I see like, I know this is a simile because there is a comparison between her smile and morning sun, which has nothing to do with each other, right? A metaphor is also a comparison between two different things, but you don't use a word of comparison. So you just say one thing is another. So, for example, time is a thief stealing our moments. So I'm comparing time to a thief. Okay, so I'm saying just like a thief will steal things, similarly, time will steal time. Personification, when you give human quality, feeling, or actions to non-human entities, objects, or concepts, that's called personification. The stubborn front door refused to open. So now the door is refusing to open. Refusing is a human quality, right? So personification. Hyperbole. Hyperbole is an intentional or extreme exaggeration used for emphasis or dramatic effect, not to be taken literally. I've told you a million times to clean your room. Oh my God, I'm having such a headache, I could die. Okay, I'm so hungry, I could eat a horse. Not going to eat a horse. This is a hyperbole. Then an idiom, which is a culturally understood phrase or expression, whose figurative meaning you cannot deduce from the literal definition. Don't burn the candle at both ends. Well, nobody's burning the candle actually at both ends. It just means that you will not stay up till late night and work too hard. Then imagery is descriptive language that appeals to the five senses: sight, sound, touch, taste, smell, everything. To build visual scenes in the mind of the reader. How beautiful it is. The crisp autumn wind whistled through the barren golden trees. Suddenly you can see the crisp autumn wind whistling through the barren golden trees. How beautiful, na? So this is called imagery. Alliteration is when you repeat the identical initial consonant sounds in words. So, for example, Peter picked a pack of pickled pepper. Okay. She sells seashells on the seashore. Yeah. And my favorite, which is Betty Botter bought some butter, but the butter was so bitter that Betty Botter bought some butter better to make the bitter butter better. Yeah, so that's alliteration. Onomatopoeia, the words that imitate the actual sound that is associated with the action or object they describe. The fireplace log crinkled and popped. So the crinkle sound and the popping sound, this is onomatopoeia. All right, so let's take a look at a few questions and see what are these very interesting figurative devices. Okay, here are a few more. So metonymy and synecdoche. So metonymy and synecdoche are slightly more complicated. Understand that here one thing represents the other thing. So in metonymy, you use one concept with something closely linked to it. So you replace the concept with something closely related. So for example, the crown issued a statement. So crown here is the king or queen. Similarly, synecdoche, which uses an actual physical part to represent the whole, or vice versa. For example, all hands on deck. The hands represents the crew member, right? So these are called metonymy and synecdoche. Then you have oxymoron and paradox. In an oxymoron, you pair two opposite words right next to each other to show the contrast. Living dead, working holiday, deafening silence, happily married. And a paradox is a full statement that seems illogical but reveals a deeper truth because there is again a contradiction that is existing. I must be cruel only to be kind. So see, can you be cruel and kind together? No, but that is what this sentence is revealing. Then anaphora and epistrophe. Anaphora repeats the words or phrases at the start of clauses. I have a dream, I have a dream. And epistrophe repeats the words or phrases at the end of these clauses. Government of the people, by the people, for the people. Then alliteration and assonance. Alliteration is repeating of the same consonant sound. We've already done this, silly, sally, swiftly swam. And assonance is the same vowel sound is repeated. The rain in Spain stays mainly in the plain. So that's alliteration and assonance. All right, let's take a look at a few words. The White House announced a new trade agreement today. So what is this White House? White House is standing for the US presidential administration. So what should it be in this case? Tell me. Take a minute, think and tell. Should it be, of course, I know one thing represents the other. It has to be either metonymy or synecdoche. So which is which? Metonymy, you use unrelated things to represent. And synecdoche, you use part and whole. So here the White House is not actually the part of a presidential administration. So synecdoche here, right? All right, all hands on deck. Hands to represent the entire crew is an example of synecdoche. Part to whole or whole to part is synecdoche. The deafening silence filled the room after the news was delivered. So when you put deafening and silence together, what have you done? Have you put an oxymoron or have you put a paradox? You've put an oxymoron. Remember, opposite words together is oxymoron. Paradox is when you have two opposites. So I must be cruel only to be kind. That's your paradox. We shall fight on the beaches. We shall fight on the landing ground. We shall fight in the field. So is this epistrophe, assonance, anaphora, or alliteration? So repetition at the beginning of the clause is anaphora. So therefore, anaphora. Repetition at the end of the clause is epistrophe. So when I was a child, I spoke as a child, I understood as a child, I thought as a child. So this is called the epistrophe. Okay. All right. Let's look at the next one. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled pepper. The repetition of this initial P sound is an example of assonance, consonance, alliteration, or onomatopoeia. Now, this is a very interesting question. So, repetition of initial consonant sounds is called alliteration, right? The rain in Spain stays mainly in the plain. When you repeat the internal vowel I, it is called assonance. Okay. He was a real Romeo around the student. Referred briefly to the famous literary character without explaining it is an example of symbolism, allusion, metonymy, or synecdoche. Now, when you do an indirect reference, remember it is you're alluding to it. So it is an allusion. Okay. Indirect reference is allusion. Okay. The white dove used in a story to represent world peace is an example of. So a white dove representing something is symbolism, right? When something is used to represent another thing. The sun was a golden coin shining in the sky. Now here we have you comparing the sun to a golden coin without using a word of comparison. So therefore, a metaphor. The thunder grumbled in the distance as the storm approached. Here, the thunder is grumbling, right? So what are we doing? Personification. When we say that someone or something is like a person. He was so tired he could sleep for 100 years. Exaggeration, so hyperbole. All right, after a day of non-stop work, she decided to call it a day. What does the idiom mean in this context? It means to stop working on a task. And the autumn leaves dance gracefully across the lawn. Oh, of course, how the autumn leaves are dancing, so then it has to be personification. All right, guys, I hope this was good for you. Please remember to do more and more of your figures of speech. Do remember to practice them as much as you can. If this session helped you, do remember to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and share it with a friend. Okay, enroll at Career Launcher 8130038836, guys. Thank you so much, and I will see you next Monday, same time, same place. Do join me when we discuss something else, some more interesting topics for your exam. Bye bye. See you next week.